Okay, hello everybody. It's my 16th birthday today, so I thought might as well make a video. I ran out of videos to watch, so I'm like, might as well make one. I still have the speaker, even though I don't need it anymore, but it'll just be here for old time's sake. Make it look a bit more professional than it is. But today I was thinking I would talk about movies, because especially for me, my entire thing, I really like movies, and not just watching them, but also making content for them. So today I just thought about why we like movies so much and why movies can affect and help and do all this stuff. So what makes a good movie? There's a lot of elements that go into it, but what is the thing that makes all of us go crazy for these hour and a half to 3.5 hour pieces of media, of recordings? I like to think that, like, in the old days before movies and stuff, they just, like, had plays and stuff, like Shakespeare and all that. But now we have all these worlds that we could go to and stuff, and all these examples that we could have of, like, major films and stuff that have effects and stuff. Oh, man. This is a media that could make us think about our world and the people around us and remind us of stuff. Like, this movie right here, this is 2001: A Space Odyssey, one of the, like, number one biggest, like, film critic known, loved films, but is anybody gonna want to see a baby in space? Maybe not. And it's so many things. There could be the blockbusters that are made for people who just want something slick and produced. You have the old movies that could just go back and show you all these ideas and things that you've never seen before. You have these characters who we could just watch hours of just this singular character on screen doing his or her thing. These just staples of creativity that it doesn't matter how they got made, where they all came from. Everybody just loves them for who they are, no matter if they're like a villain or a hero in a story, no matter like the horrible or great things that they do. And especially with older movies, they just have these staples of things, these amazing things that could just show you movies and all this stuff that could just is so unique and crafted. The makeup, the art, the acting, the music, every piece of a film. Like, even in the original Wizard of Oz, all the way back in the day, like, how did they do this? Where did the Wicked Witch come from? How'd they do this? She wasn't there before. And just the makeup, the creativity on screen. And it could be your own idea. It could be influenced by something else. Star Wars, known as like the most unique thing ever, influenced by other things. And Wizard of Oz, influenced by other things. And just everything isn't going to be 100% unique, because we've had a part where everything has pretty much already been done, but you could do different things with you could do mashups like Coraline, and you could do different animation styles and different creatures and ideas and worlds and lighting and just ideas that could really just help so much with your film. You could do random stuff like the Grinch movie. You could have Jim Carrey do whatever he wants and just have this guy in a suit. You could do so much with film, and it could do so many things. It could make you laugh, it could make you cry, it could just give you all these emotions. And sometimes you don't want to feel any emotion, you just want to watch something that could be nice. And sometimes you want to have a gripping story. Sometimes you want like a goofy Star Wars show. Sometimes you want a Star Wars show where a guy that you don't really know or isn't this classic character or anything, just gives a long speech about what he loves and what he is fighting for, and the emotion that there is with these actors, this directing, the cinematography, and adding it all together to create the fusion of film and shows. And I'm not really going to talk about shows, because this video is long enough as is, probably, but it could just have this major effect on everything. And it's so beautiful that we can make things like this, that no matter how horrible something is or how much you dislike something, somebody else probably really enjoys it, no matter how cheesy or weird or different it is, no matter how far it goes or what genre it's from. It's always going to have some sort of fan that the movie truly makes a connection with. And Like, even with Guardians of the Galaxy, even if something is part of a franchise or something, it could still be unique in all these ways and have its own flair to it. And it doesn't have to be a corporate major thing. You have musicals, which, especially with music and sound, could really bring out emotion with just a few simple notes on the piano. And they could also give this sense of triumph, or it could be horror, or any different sort of feeling. And especially with La La Land, music just transcends everything else, and it just is so beautiful how it could work, and how the ending of something, no matter how strange or different it is, no matter how slick or choppy, that even the idea of something, if you have a creative idea in a film, it could just make the movie so much better, especially for me. It could just give me this emotion that I want to go see this again. I want to rewatch this, even going through and editing this with clips and stuff. I want to rewatch this. It's getting kind of hot here. I'm gonna open a window. But it could just give you feelings from your own life, connections with people, or moments. It could just be a weird movie where they're reciting some random poem in a car. They spend 30 minutes just in a car talking. And it could still have this impact on you that you never thought that you would get from something so strange. And that's how it works, depending on your and you could find these flavors with directors that you love and pieces of media which you love, and it could all just combine into something beautiful. And obviously there's going to be people that always hate something that you do, but especially when you have good actors and good cinematography on display and good music, and then once again everything could fail if it has all these amazing things. But usually it works, especially for me when it gets really weird. Wes Anderson, he has such a flair to him that people will either really dislike him or really like his flair. And it's not that you hate him, you just don't care for the look of his stuff. And I especially have been checking out stuff and just wow, I really enjoy this. And comedy, even, how it's handled in films, pinches of it in Marvel movies, or maybe an entire comedian film, or all these different things, a little special on Netflix, a quick line in an otherwise pretty simple movie, or a comedy mixed with drama. All these different ideas for what a film could be. And the animation, adding animation into the mix, action, kids stuff, especially if you have something that could work for kids and adults and everybody else. Especially with Puss in Boots and animated films and Fantastic Mr. Fox and all this stuff. It works great. But especially after you have all this prestige stuff and genius and making you think stuff, you could also become a bit bored of it. And you need that stupid action stuff. That's where the not so great movies come in, where people like them, they love them even, to the extent that some people really care about these movies more than the prestige films, and that's all they watch. But the stupid movies can also have an effect, where I watch the Fast and Furious movies and I'm like, this isn't good, but check this out. He just blew up 2 helicopters with a car, and then he destroys other cars with a helicopter. It's just whoa, this is so weird. And you get feeling from that in a just laughing because it's so stupid way, but it still works sometimes with people. Displaying iconic characters and heroes and villains, and then even bringing them back, where everything is being brought back in these days. Anything that anybody had emotion over or cared about a lot, usually, is being redone in some fashion or brought back or something. And it usually doesn't work as well as it originally did, but sometimes it works even better. And then there's also bad movies. I just wanted to mention Marmaduke as one of the worst movies ever. But there's just some horrendous movies that nobody could ever get enjoyment, I could see. And why do these movies happen? Probably, I would guess, cheap. The executives and stuff not wanting them. But then you have stuff that people really care about, that could transport you to these worlds and characters with these rules and these items and these magical pieces or characters or wizards or different creatures or just unique stuff. And it usually starts small, an idea, and then an author writes it, and then it becomes a movie after years. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the creative stuff just happens. Especially with Across the Spider-Verse, like the most creative thing ever. It's just there. It isn't needing to be influenced by something else. It has comics and stuff and characters, but its story is its own. And it could do that because of just what it is. It's just simple as that. And especially with all superhero stuff, it's very noticeable when you do something unique. Also, I will not be doing too many shows because that could be a video in itself, all the shows that we have that are incredible. So we're just going to be sticking to movies with this one, but the worlds that we get to explore with film and the characters and the emotion that you could have to usually a franchise, but just a singular film, where you have indie films, you have franchises, and that's pretty much how it goes. You could have a little bit of a film, like 3 movies, but franchises especially, if you could create this world where you want to keep exploring it and going deeper and deeper into it, it could work so well. And along with franchise and stuff, you have different audiences. You have audiences that would really want to watch like Lord of the Rings for the rest of their life, and then you have people that are really into chick flicks and just like rom-coms and stuff that some people wouldn't even want to see at all, but to other people, this is their place, this is their thing, this is what they love. And we're all coexisting here with our different loves of film, and it all meshes together so well, especially with new movies coming out. I've been thinking, what about old movies? What has been some really like classic films, especially like Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind. But last year I watched 12 Angry Men, a movie about 12 guys in like the 19-somethings, black and white, talking about a court trial case, and they're the jury. And it's a very simple movie, but it just was so masterful in its execution. It's simple, it's easy to understand. It has only 13 people in the entire movie. It's in black and white. They're only in one room, except for like 2 scenes. And yet it could pull this emotion out of you that you wouldn't think it would. So just respecting it. Sometimes you also want to just see people get completely destroyed and beat up by an action hero. And that could also be like something that's just so awesome to see, where you don't want something thematically rich or anything, and sometimes it can be, it doesn't have to be, but you just want to see some action or something, and that's awesome, especially with good cinematography and actors and stuff. It's so awesome. Sometimes you want to see these crazy stunts that these actors do that spend so much of their time just to give you some heart-pounding moment in the theater or at home, where you are just shocked by what you see on screen. And there's other times where you once again want something unique. That's where A24 comes in, where like Marcel the Shell, Lighthouse, all these other different unique movies. Every movie that they come out with, no matter if it's good or bad, it's always unique. And usually with the unique indie films, it always has some magical piece to it that makes you just want to be more in this world, or in this with these characters in this community. And it always just seems a lot more heartfelt, usually, when it's different. But different always isn't good. Sometimes it can be bad. And I don't know. That's kind of why I made this video, because I really do like movies, and there's so much to discuss, and so many reasons why we love them, and so many things that we could love about them. And I don't know, hopefully you enjoyed this. It's been a bit aimless, but I just wanted to do this for my birthday, because something I've wanted to do. Just talk about movies, but there's so much to talk about that individually I could talk about one of these genres or one of these films for hours on end and not have a problem. So, if you watch this, thanks. There's just so much to discuss. That took a while. I enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. It's been a nice birthday. If you saw this, I appreciate it. Yeah. Might be talking about some more movies in the future. Made this. I don't know. I got like a ranking all the movies I saw in 2023 coming out. Maybe some more stuff. I hope you enjoy the edit and stuff. I think I'll be making some more videos soon. Thanks. Bye.